Our participant is a 20-year-old male named Jonathan. He has never played basketball before and is at the cognitive stage of learning. The athlete has a BMI of 24.2 and therefore falls within the healthy percentile of the population. Jonathan plays soccer and table tennis, and as a result it is assumed that he develops sufficient fine and gross motor skills that can be transferred across into playing basketball. Due to soccer and table tennis having little in common with basketball, we assume that we will not have any issues with previous learnt skill interference. The only previous experience the participant has had with basketball as a sport is playing NBA 2K17 with friends and watching the NBL on TV. When it comes to skill classification, both a dribble and a free throw are gross motor skills. They can both be either closed or open depending on the environment, whether it's an indoor court or outdoor court, and a dribble is continuous whereas a free throw is discrete. Using Gentile's taxonomy table, we believe that both basketball shooting and dribbling fall under the 2D category.
We have decided on a 4-week training program. Each week is split into 2 training sessions and they will run for 45 minutes each. The sessions will have a distinct warm-up and cool-down, followed by 2 dribbling drills and 2 shooting drills. The progressions of the weeks are planned precisely to cater for the learner's needs. Weeks 1 and 2, the participant is at the cognitive stage and therefore our drills are simple and focus on the individual parts of the skill learnt. Weeks 3 and 4, we assume the participant is in the associative stage and therefore drills are more complex and begin to show signs of progression so that the participant can begin to learn through practice. The first 2 weeks are mainly based around whole practice, where it is more effective when learning the fundamentals of the skill. Weeks 3 and 4, however, we predominantly use part practice due to the addition of more complex skills, where we have multiple phases like the dribble into a jump shot and the longer variation shooting. Finally, our program aims to sustain a high level of motivation for our participant. This is achieved through modifying and changing the tasks, giving several types of feedback, goal setting, and a shorter, more frequent training schedule.
Alright, so now for dribbling. We're going to make sure that we have our eyes up all the time, looking at where we're going. We don't want to run into anyone. We're pushing the ball down and we're making sure we're coming back to our hip level and then using our fingertips, not our palms, and not stuck in the ball. So fingertips down, keep going, looking up though, and then that's it. Alright, you have a go. Alright, so try and use your fingertips instead of your palm. You don't want to flood it. And make sure you're looking at me in the eyes. Alright, perfect. I like it. Alright, now with crossovers, we're going to obviously start in our dominant hand and we want to really then go down towards the floor and push the ball across. And make sure we're not trying to carry it, we're passing it to each hand. Okay, make sure we use our fingertips. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, very good. Perfect.
The dribbling pre- and post-test involve the participant to dribble around the outside of the lines of half court using whichever hand they preferred. This was done under timed conditions to measure improvement. Speed dribble involves the participant dribbling up with their right and back with their left. Obstacle dribble involves cones set up around the court in a bow tie shape. Players dribble around the cones using only their dominant hand. Advanced dribbling involves the player dribbling up and down the court following the coach's instructions. This can include right hand, left hand crossovers and dribbling 2 balls at once. Dribbling cone grab involves cones randomly placed around the court. Participants must start in the middle and using both dominant and opposite hand, dribble to each cone, picking it up and then returning it to the center of the court. This should be a timed activity to measure improvement.
Alright, so when we're shooting, we're going to start with our feet from bottom up. We're going to make sure they're shoulder width apart and that they're facing the target we're going to. Our dominant hand's going to be holding the ball in the middle and our guiding hand will be just off to the side. We're going to push up to a 90-degree angle, then push through and flick the wrist and obviously target the ring. So now you show me. Yeah, mate. So chuck this leg a bit further in and straight and your elbow in a little bit and yeah, should be fine. That's it, follow through.
The shooting pre-test involved the participant having to shoot 10 free throws. The under the ring shot involves the player to stand under the ring and shoot using the backboard. Once they make 25 shots from one side, they move to the opposite side. Around the world involves the player starting on one side of the key and then moving around to each spot after they make a successful shot. The coach should ensure they monitor shots made and misses. The first drill of week 3 and 4 for shooting is a clear progression from the second shooting drill of week 1 and 2. The around the world, except outside shots, involves a player standing from outside the key and inside the 3-point line. Again, when they make the shot, they must then move on to the next spot, which is located around the key. The last drill aims to incorporate both shooting and dribbling. The player is to dribble up to half court, turn around, dribble back, and then once they get into a scoring position, perform a jump stop, and then shoot the ball. They then get their own rebound. The shooting progress test required the participant to again shoot 10 free throws, measuring how many they made. The coaching cues we used for shooting included feet shoulder width apart, body square to the ring, the acronym BEEF, which included balance, elbow, extension, and feet, the follow through and the flick of the wrist, knees bent and push through your legs. Dribbling, the coaching cues included pushing the ball hard into the floor, keeping the ball at the waist, using the fingertips to dribble rather than the palm of your hand, and when crossing over, getting low, pushing the ball hard across the body. During our training, we used both verbal and demonstrative feedback. These coaching cues were the main elements we looked at when providing our feedback. Lastly, we ensured that we used prescriptive feedback. Using our coaching cues, we gave our participant an in-depth understanding on how to correct those errors.